Welcome to the National Croquet Center and the inaugural U.S. Open Golf Croquet Tournament being put on January 6 to 11, 2025 in West Palm Beach, Florida, in the good old USA. This tournament was the brainchild of Bill Simmons, who is the tournament manager and a significant sponsor, especially of the live streaming. Jeff Sue is your tournament director. There was joint sponsorship by the Croquet Foundation of America and the United States Croquet Association, which of course brings you this YouTube channel and is responsible for all things croquet in the USA. Channel sponsors are Chris Barley and Don Oakley and the Croquet Store, providing the equipment needs of any player in any country in any discipline. And featuring this week the new Arrow Mallet developed with David and Kyle Maloof, both of whom are playing it this week. And now a round one knockout match between Zack Watson and Edmund Fordyce. They got out of block play with 5 and 4 wins respectively, I think out of 7 games total. And they meet here in round one of the knockout. Edmund Fordyce is a native New Zealander who now lives in the U.S. He's the croquet pro at the Highlands Country Club. Zack Watson, of course, has been on McGraw and Solomon Cup teams for the U.S. He's won 1 national championship, doubles and AC with Matthew Essig. And he is the pro at the NCC right here in West Palm Beach. Their world rankings are pretty impressive. I think Edmund has been as high as number 3. Zack didn't play in the Golf Croquet Worlds in October because he and his wife are having a baby. The best possible excuse. Edmund lost in the second round of the knockout to Khaled Kamel, who was a semifinalist at the Worlds. Based on the shadows, this is probably the first game in the morning. The courts are oriented pretty straight north and south, so the shadows are coming in obliquely because it's January and the sun comes up south of due east. Even though bell bottoms are supposedly making a comeback for the umpteenth time, you'll notice that these guys are wearing pants that fit tight at the ankle. And the reason is their stance puts their feet so close together that if their pants had any flare at all, even bootcut jeans would be a problem. And some of the guys who wear pants that are fuller at the ankle will wrap their ankles as though they're going for a bike ride. The block matches were all single 19-point games. The knockout is all best 2 or 3 13-point games until the semifinals and the finals, where it's the best 3 of 5 13-point games. But you all knew that because you've all looked at the live stream of those games, I'm sure. So Zack breaks the ice, holds serve. These two are both excellent big hitters, but they're also both wily tacticians. This is a lovely block to keep blue from clearing red. He may have messed up red's hoop shot, though, so blue's just going to turn the tables and use that block to protect blue. And then a nice little bombard for a snuggle to keep blue from being able to shoot at the hoop. Those are shots that all of the rest of us can do if we just think of them. Your videographer on this frigid Florida morning, I'll bet it's only 50 degrees where Edmund is standing, is John Graney, who joined our group a little less than a year ago. Has gotten the hang of it very quickly and is bringing lots of energy and new ideas to our YouTube channel. Notice Edmund's version of stalking. That got him to number 3 in the world at one point. I don't recommend that beginners start that way, but keeping it clean, efficient, and flowing has something to say for it. That said, there are a lot of top players who stalk from further back and much longer than that. Zack taking advantage of the odd numbered hoop 3. Nobody cares much about hoop 2 in this game, but starting at 3 and then especially with the sequence of 4, 5, and 6 is where a player can build an insurmountable lead in a 13-point game. So that's when they start to care. You can just make out black at the edge of that shadow on the boundary. It may be partially wired from yellow, which may explain why he's shooting the hoop instead of clearing red. Also, I think yellow was blocking red shot on the hoop, so yellow will still be there for black to take care of. And even though I can't tell from this angle, yellow may not even have a hoop shot. And it looks like Edmund thinks that blue's jump shot for the hoop is too short to be easily doable. Maybe one of the players could comment on this sequence when they watch this video. This one's tricky. Don't go for coffee till you see this next shot. I'm guessing blue can see red. Determining accurately where the ball went out is critical in all four versions of this game for various reasons. I only slowed that down to confirm that yes, he did make the hoop. I don't know what this exchange is about. Maybe they'll come on that. Zack wasn't watching. Edmund can't possibly doubt whether he made the hoop or not. I mean, it's not like a hole in one in golf where if nobody saw it, it didn't happen. Maybe it's something to do with the fact that the blue ball is probably offsides but wasn't replaced until after the hoop had been made. Something like that. That camera set up over there at the corner of the veranda is Brian Hovis, our other videographer for this tournament. The guys are getting games going while I set up the live streaming, which is coming from that second floor corner, those first two windows on the east side of the clubhouse. In case you're interested, we hardwired Brian's camera with an SDI cable that came out that small window down over the veranda roof to his camera. It got really interesting when the tent went up the next day. John Graney's camera, the one you're looking through right now, sends this signal back to the live streaming switcher with a wireless transmitter. So he can go all over the place with that one. So long as I can see him from one of those two windows on the corner of the second floor. Brian Hovis was the first videographer who came on board to help me after I had done the first 120 or 30 myself. We're pushing 400 now, and he's done at least half of those himself. He's doing some editing too, which people are appreciating. And now that you've had your coffee, you might want to postpone your bathroom break until this shot is over. I can't see it, but the only explanation for that is that he hit the ball in his backswing. It's not a fault, so Edmund doesn't get to make a decision. That just constitutes Zack's stroke. He was obviously shooting at red there. I think he only missed that because he was trying to hit red half ball on the left so it would clear yellow. Nice hoop. He didn't hammer it, but it went through so cleanly that it got all the way to the south boundary, which of course leaves a big wiring area for Zack behind hoop 8. This is a better view of Edmund's stalking routine. He is not remotely careless about this, hence that result. Nowhere to run to, baby, nowhere to hide. Martha and the Vandellas. You look up the full lyrics, it's a very depressing song. But it's something Sharif has said to me a bunch of times when I played him. Nowhere to run to, Dilly. You can't hide from me. I'm not sure why he goes so deep on this one. At that angle, he could have done a decent setup, sort of halfway between the boundary and the hoop. On second thought, it's obvious. Blue is in position to clear red long, no matter where it went, except to the boundary. like I said, except that red, now inaccessible on the boundary, is ready to take on the double target of black in the hoop, depending on whether black has a hoop shot or not. They only miss ones that are that short when they're trying to cut the ball hard. He might not ordinarily take that hoop shot with blue because of the angle, but now he's going to be tempted because black is in great position and legally offsides. He got it. And he got blue down there, too. He is in control. I think Zack has played an Oakley Predator in the past, but based on his Facebook page, he comes from a family of consummate handymen and tinkerers, and he's, I think, making his own mallets now. Well, Zack was in control until that happened. That camera set up over there at the corner of the veranda is Brian Hovis, our other videographer for this tournament. The guys are getting games going while I set up the live streaming, which is coming from that second floor corner, those first two windows on the east side of the clubhouse. In case you're interested, we hardwired Brian's camera with an SDI cable that came out that small window down over the veranda roof to his camera. It got really interesting when the tent went up the next day. John Graney's camera, the one you're looking through right now, sends his signal back to the live streaming switcher with a wireless transmitter. So he can go all over the place with that one. So long as I can see him from one of those two windows on the corner of the second floor. Brian Hovis was the first videographer who came on board to help me after I had done the first 120 or 30 myself. We're pushing 400 now, and he's done at least half of those himself. He's doing some editing too, which people are appreciating. Red, of course, is offsides, but it's legal because it's the ball that cleared black to the west boundary on its previous shot. Blue has a basically guaranteed hoop shot, so he can't afford to let it sit there. The Egyptians would have set up with red and cleared with yellow, but sometimes you got to use both barrels. The other videographer in our team is Paul Newbecker, who's done a lot of work, especially in New York. He's tied up with toddlers at the moment, but he'll be back certainly for the Worlds in October. And Devin Burris, an NCC club member, may be coming on. He videoed the final of the ladies tournament that followed this one, and I hope to get him to do more in the future. A double dinger is a well-known chiropractic maneuver. I'm looking for a way to use it in croquet. It could be this, or maybe when somebody makes two hoops in a row with the same ball, 2 turns in a row. sweet. There, a double dinger. So Zack Watson takes game 1 at hoop 12 over Edmund Fordyce. Game 2 coming up. It is, of course, now blue to play. Edmund notices. It takes a little while to decide whether to do replace and replay where black goes back and Zack just plays blue, or leave them where they are and swap blue and black. And it's now red to play. And ball swap worked out well for the wrong player. He was shooting at yellow, not the hoop. It's always fun to watch Jeff Sue work. These balls are awfully close together for a direct online stop shot to work. What do you think? The red ball travels on a line that barely diverges from the line of the black ball at all. And I think one of the criteria for making the call of a double tap here is how far the red ball goes. If the mallet had struck red only once, red should have stopped within a foot or two of where black was. Instead, it went 3 or 4 yards. So Zack gets to decide whether to leave them there or put them back where they were, and Edmund's turn is over. Same situation. You make the call before we slow it down. This one was hit much more gently than Edmund's shot. No double tap. Based on the outcome, Black's hoop shot is barely makeable, so he could have put it in the jaws and gone another round. But had he done that, Yellow, which you can barely see in that shadow, would have cleared Black out of the hoop. So a hoop's a hoop, even if it's not great. Zack is not messing around on the hoop shots today. I'm trying to tabulate Croquets to see if I can figure out an easy way to come up with critical distance. I'll have to do the same thing for hoop shots. Results down the road. Here's a decision that comes up all the time. Do you shoot the hoop when the ball that plays next also has a hoop shot? A lot of factors have to be considered. Which shot is easier? Where are the other balls? How's your opponent shooting today? What'd you have for breakfast? How late did you stay out last night? And in this case, since he's down 1-4, he can't afford to take a lot of chances. Here the pre-clear is easy, and if he sets up with red, then black could put yellow out of position, and blue is left standing. Yes, black now has a hoop shot, but it's a longer one. Vince Lombardi is purported to have said, but probably never did say, that performance trumps strategy every time. And in golf croquet, trumps tactics as well. Golf croquet is mostly tactics. Even with the 6-inch black tubing, sometimes the balls get away. So now you get to see a part of the National Croquet Club site you never see on these videos. Everybody coming to the rescue. Nobody's taking off their clothes. It looks like Matthew's reaching in to get the ball. That statue of Alice in Wonderland was donated by Howard Sosen, who has created a number of innovative games that are variations on AC and golf croquet. We have a innovations playlist on this YouTube channel, and Howard has a YouTube channel of his own titled Croquet Innovations. In fact, if you just Google Croquet Innovations, you get an AI summary of what Howard's all about. It's really pretty cool. I'm not sure what's going on here, except they may be trying to rearrange the boundaries so the balls don't go in the pond anymore. The tournament director's duties are boundless. looks like he's thinking he can't clear red to a position where it can't get to black. So better get rid of yellow now. The most satisfying thing in croquet, but it goes by so fast you can't really appreciate it sometimes. He is taking no prisoners today. So 2-0. Zack Watson moves into the second round of the knockout against Matthew Essick, which you can see on the live stream on this YouTube channel. Pretty awesome shooting by both of these guys. I don't know how long Edmund Fordyce plans to stay in the U.S., but as long as he's here, there'll be ample opportunities for replays of this match in national events. So this inaugural U.S. Open Golf Croquet Tournament is a joint venture between the Croquet Foundation and the USCA. Bill Simmons was the guy who thought it up and really made it happen with sponsorship and management. The USCA brings you this YouTube channel with sponsorship from Chris Barley and from our exclusive equipment sponsor, Don Oakley, and the Croquet store. He can provide anything any croquet player anywhere at any level needs. And debuting, I think, in October and featured prominently this week was the new arrow mallet developed with the Maloofs, both of whom were using it in that father-son duel that we posted a few days ago. So check out the live stream playlist on the channel from this tournament. Give us a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because there are a few more games that weren't live streamed but were recorded that we're going to post over the next few days.